Salutations, everyone. This is Razor here giving you some Battlefield 3 action. Squad Rush here with my trusty F2000, one of my favorite guns of all time. I loved it in Modern Warfare 2, and I love it in Battlefield 3. Absolutely love this gun. It's just so awesome. It's got nice slick iron sights, don't need no reticle bullshit. It's got some pretty awesome pop, not too much recoil. It's not very good long range when you compare it to most of the other assault rifles, but I don't care. I like it. Sometimes use it suppressed, sometimes not. But Battlefield 3, fucking awesome game. If you guys didn't know. But one of the things that I found, I mean, there are like some really good things about Battlefield 3, and there's some really bad things about Battlefield 3. Like, I kind of want to make a video like why Battlefield 3 is awesome and why it sucks. I mean, overall it's really awesome, but there's some sucky things about this game. So I'll just go over a few. You can get spawn killed like nobody's business. Being spawn killed is a huge problem, especially on some maps. The enemy team can just roll up a tank or any other sort of assault vehicle and just watch you spawn and take you out with machine guns and tank shells and shit like that. So that's a big problem in Battlefield. At least for me, I'm sure a lot of people really love that you can watch people spawn and kill them, but that's not something that'll typically happen all the time on every map. Just usually on big maps with tanks and stuff like that. So not all too common, but if it happens once, that's still too often in my book. One of the other bad things about Battlefield 3 is the campers are always going to be really annoying. Fucking ran to my death right there. The campers are really annoying, and they're always going to be really effective, more effective in this game than any other game out there. You can have bushwhacky snipers camping on top of a crane that's like 7,000 feet away from you, and they're just picking you off, and there's not shit that you can do except snipe back at them, which is easier said than done in some cases. But that's really annoying. Shotgunners are really annoying. Just hiding in a corner with a shotgun makes you God. And I think shotguns are considered like a newbie weapon in this game. I don't know about all of them, but that's just the impression that I get from hearing people in lobbies and such. But I'm not really too sure about that. There's a lot of shotgunners out there, and some of them are way too fucking strong, especially like any of the ones with huge magazines or that are like the Dow 12 that looks like a striker, or the USAS. The Spaz is really good range, it seems like. I don't know. I don't pretend to know a lot about Battlefield 3, so if you guys have some actual, information out there of what the community likes and does not like, be sure to leave it in the comments below. But one of the other things that I didn't really like about Battlefield 3 is it didn't feel very competitive. It didn't feel like a very competitive game. The assault, the one where the flags, there's hardly any action in that, and it always seems to be one-sided. Deathmatch is, I guess, kind of fun because you're just killing each other. But my favorite game type, easily, is Rush, where it's kind of like Demolition from Call of Duty, except there's multiple stages. You blow up 2 bombs, and then you move on to another part of the map where there's 2 other bombs. And you take out those 2 bombs, you move on to another map, another part of the map where there's even more bombs. And if you take them all out, you win. If you defend, if they are all taken out, then you lose. And obviously, if you're on the defensive side, that's what you want to do. So what I decided to do is play some Squad Rush because it's smaller teams. It's only 4-player teams and only 1 bomb site. So I thought it'd be really a nice little competitive twist here on Battlefield, something I'm not really used to. I'm sorry if you feel that Battlefield is more competitive than, say, like a Call of Duty, and there are definitely different aspects to each game that have their own strengths. But it just didn't seem really competitive for me on in like big teams and such. So I decided to go with a squad deathmatch or squad rush, which combines the competitive aspect of a squad scenario where there's much smaller teams, and rush, which is my favorite game type. So I got thrown into a server with these as you can see on my teammates in the lower right hand corner by the map. You can see they're all part of the same clan. This is actually their server. I just got randomly thrown into there because it's a public server. And man, that AN-94 pisses me off. I tried using it one time. It had like way too much recoil. I didn't know how to handle it, but I'm getting taken out by it everywhere. It seems to be a popular choice. But I got thrown to these guys' server randomly, as you saw in the first game. I got thrown, you know, I guess toward the beginning or in the middle. I couldn't really tell. But I pretty much carried the team on that game. Went 7-1. We got the victory and taken out by that Famasi nerd right there. This was the next game, Squad Rush on. Forget what map this is, but this is a pretty cool map. I really like Rush on this map. It's pretty snazzy. Taking out enemies. Get my F2000 server star because I'm a boss like that. See this dude? Fucking, he's good now. And I find myself having a lot of fun in Squad Rush, and playing with a team that knew they were doing was something I wasn't used to. Usually, I'm just in a random lobby with large, a lot of team members. 8 or 12, people on my team, and most of them will go like 2-13. That's just the average Battlefield 3 player. I know it seems like a lot worse than like the average COD player who will go like 8-15. I don't know. I don't know what, like, I can't think of it like an average score off the top of my head for what particular game mode. But the average Battlefield player isn't going to be doing as well because the maps and the guns and vehicles and all that stuff. But at the same time, you're going to have people going like 47-6 because they're just in a tank the whole game and they can't get taken out because it takes like 30 rockets to take out a fucking tank in this game, and they keep on repairing it anytime it does get shot. So once again, another annoying aspect of Battlefield 3. But I wasn't used to playing with teammates that actually knew what they were doing, so that was a nice little change of pace. Although it was kind of weird that this was an actual team. They all had the same TG in their gamer tag. They had their own server, and yet I was leading the way in all 3 of the games that we did play. We ended up winning these 2, and then we lost a third one, just barely though. It was really close. But I was the best player on the team for all 3 of those games, so I thought that was kind of weird because I feel like I'm a noob from a Battlefield veteran's perspective. I mean, I do have a decent amount of time played. I know all the weapons. I know all the objectives. I know all the maps. I know what to do. I know how to do everything. Yeah, I still understand that I would be considered a noob from, a Battlefield 3 veteran standpoint. I do only have like an hour a day and 5 hours played. So it was kind of surprising to me to be the best on this team that has their own server and takes the game, pretty seriously. To have their own server and to have the same uh, team name initials in their gamer tags. So that was kind of cool. Also, they were communicating, which was something I didn't know was a thing in Battlefield 3. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know that people communicated because in any other lobby and any other game mode, I never heard one person talk. Never heard a single person talk. But all these guys had mics, and it was interesting having hearing them giving out call outs and flanking routes and strategies. So that was really cool. So obviously this game is going to be more competitive when you have people communicating. But of course you all know that from playing pretty much any other video game. And I feel like communication isn't as key in Battlefields than it is in some game modes in Call of Duty. Obviously, there are a lot of game modes of Call of Duty where communication really doesn't matter that much. Um, and same for Battlefield. But for the most part, I feel like Battlefield 3, one person can make, yeah, a much bigger impact on the game than other games like Call of Duty. I mean, that just seems to be the way that it's flowed for me. One dude can just totally take over and help out a much weaker team and win the game. And I'm not saying that's what I felt like I was doing in this game. I wasn't playing with a whole bunch of scrubs and you know just taking control of things, but I did feel like I was the biggest contributor on the team, which was kind of cool. It was what I was looking for in this squad rush mode. So I think I'll continue to be playing more of that, but I also play just regular rush every now and again. So let me know if you guys would like to see some more Battlefield 3. I definitely enjoy playing it a lot. If you are a Battlefield 3 veteran and you want to show me the ropes, send me a friend request, and we can get that all handled. So we win the game right there. My final score here is 13-4. Get the highest score, get the MVP as usual. I have way more MVP ribbons than I do MVP 2s and 3s. And look, these guys actually sent me a message saying thanks, man, playing with us. You're epic, and favorite our server. So I did. That was really interesting. I never had that kind of experience from really any video game. So Battlefield people are pretty cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.